Have you ever wondered why money feels so confusing, stressful, and heavy, even when people explain it over and over again? What if I told you that most money problems don't come from being bad with money, but from never having it explained in a simple, human way? Finance is intimidating, but because nobody ever taught it like you were learning it for the first time. I'm Chris, and I spend way too much time thinking about the easiest ways to explain finance. Here's what I've learned. A lot of people are quietly stressed about money. Maybe you're working hard, but your bank account never seems to move. Maybe you've got a few hundred saved and feel like you're miles behind. Maybe you've got 5 or 10,000 saved and still don't feel safe. Or maybe you're starting over, new job, new city, new chapter, and you're thinking, I just want to understand money without feeling dumb. By the end of this, you won't feel like finance is some secret language meant for rich people. You'll see money the way it actually works. Simple, predictable, and way more forgiving than most people think. If I help simplify finance a little for you in this video at some point, hit the like button for me. It really helps my small channel grow and helps others find my content. Let's start with the big idea most people miss. Money is not a reward, it's a tool. That's it. That's the core shift. Most people treat money like a scorecard. More money means you're winning. Less money means you're failing. But money doesn't care how hard you work, how smart you are, or how good of a person you are. Money only does one thing. It moves around, and it moves based on some simple rules. Think of money like water in a bucket. If water is pouring in and leaking out at the same time, it doesn't matter how hard you try, the bucket never fills. That's most people's financial life. A paycheck comes in. Bills, spending, random stuff leaks out. At the end of the month, the bucket is empty again. The first rule of money is simple. You need fewer leaks in your bucket. This is where people overcomplicate things. They think they need investing strategies, side hustles, or a higher salary. Those things help later. But early in your journey, money is mostly about flow, not growth. If you make $2,500 a month and spend $2,500 a month, you're going to feel broke. If you make $2,500 a month and spend $2,300 a month, something magical happens. You start breathing again. That $200 difference isn't just money, it's control. Here's the part nobody tells you. Your first financial goal isn't getting rich. It's simply getting stable. And stability means one thing. Money stops being an emergency all the time. Money changes in stages, like levels in a video game. And just like in a video game, you can't skip levels. You have to beat level 1 before you can even see level 2. This is where it's you're asking, can I pay rent? Can I eat? Can I keep the lights on? If you're at this level, listen closely. You're not behind, you're not failing. You're just at the starting point, and that's okay. Everyone who has money started here. At this level, your only job is to plug the biggest leaks in your bucket. That might mean making one phone call to lower your phone bill, or canceling one subscription you forgot about, or bringing lunch from home twice a week instead of buying it. Small stuff? Yes. But these small moves create breathing room. And breathing room is everything when you're in survival mode. This is when life stops knocking you down every time something unexpected happens. A surprise vet bill doesn't ruin your month. A car repair is annoying, not catastrophic. If you've got $400 saved, that's actually something, even if it doesn't feel like it. That's proof you can save. If you've got $1,000 saved, that's a shock absorber. One emergency won't destroy everything you've built. If you've got $5,000 saved, that's real breathing room. And if you've got $10,000 saved, congratulations. You just unlocked something most people never experience. Options. This is when your money starts growing even when you're not thinking about it. Like grass with sprinklers on, it just grows and grows without you doing much. At this level, you've got money working for you while you sleep, while you're at your job, while you're watching TV, your money is out there in the world, slowly multiplying. Most people are stuck between level 1 and 2, not because they're lazy or dumb, but because nobody explained the game in a way that made sense. Let's talk about the math, but I'm going to keep it super simple. Because here's what they don't tell you. Saving money is not about how much you save. It's about consistency. Remember when your teacher would send you home with a little bit of homework every day rather than all at once? Same idea. Small and steady beats, big and random every single time. Let me show you something that will blow your mind. If you save $25 a week, that's only about $100 a month. Sounds tiny, right? Like, what's $100 gonna do? But watch what happens when time gets involved. Over 1 year, that's $1,200. Over 5 years, that's $6,000. That alone moves you way out of panic mode. People laugh at small numbers. They think to themselves, 25 bucks a week? That won't change my life. But small numbers are how you train your brain. Saving is like doing push-ups. You don't start with 200 push-ups on day 1. You'd hurt yourself. You start with 2, then 5, then 10. The habit matters way more than the number, especially in the beginning. And once you save consistently, something weird happens inside your brain. You start seeing money completely differently than you did before. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" you start asking, "Is this worth it?" That one question alone can completely change your life. Okay, now let's talk about investing. And I'm going to explain it like you've never heard the word invest before in your life. First, what even is investing? Simple, investing just means letting your money help you. Imagine you plant a seed in your backyard. You don't dig it up every single day to check on it, right? That would kill it. You give it water, you give it time, and slowly it grows into something bigger. That's investing. Now, when you hear the words stock market, what pops into your head? Probably chaos, right? Guys in suits yelling, numbers flying everywhere, red and green arrows going crazy on screens. But here's the real truth about the stock market. It's just a place where you can own tiny pieces of real companies. Companies you already know. The place where you buy your groceries. The store where you got your phone. The company that makes your favorite snacks. All of these are companies and you can own a tiny slice of them. Let me give you a really simple example. Let's say there's a lemonade stand in your neighborhood. It's really popular, people love it. The kid running it is smart and wants to grow the business. So the kid says, "Hey, if you give me $10, I'll give you 10% of my lemonade stand. When I make money, you make money too." That's basically what investing is. You're giving a company some money. They use that money to grow. And when they grow, your little slice becomes worth more. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Over many, many years, like looking back 50 or 100 years, the stock market has grown around 7 to 10% every year on average. Think of it like blowing up a balloon. Every year on average, the balloon gets about 10% bigger. Some years you take a really big breath and the balloon grows a lot. Some years you accidentally breathe in instead of blowing out and the balloon shrinks a tiny bit. But over time, the balloon just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Now I'm going to teach you the most powerful concept in all of finance. It's called compound growth. And once you understand this, you'll see why starting early matters so much. Let's use real numbers so you can actually see how this works. Say you invest $100 every single month, just $100. That's like one dinner out or a couple of coffees throughout the week. In year 1, you put in $100 and $200 total. Let's say it grows 8% that year. Now you've got how do 296. You made $96 without doing any extra work. That's pretty cool. But here's where it gets wild. In year 2, you keep adding $100 a month. But now that $96 you earned, that starts earning money too. You're earning money on your original money and on the money your money made. This is called compounding. It's like rolling a snowball down a hill. At first, it's small. You roll it through some snow, it picks up a little more. You keep rolling, it picks up even more. And the bigger it gets, the more snow it picks up with each roll. Eventually, you're not even pushing hard anymore. The snowball is so big that it's picking up massive amounts of snow just from its own size. Let me show you some real numbers that will blow your mind. If you invest $100 a month starting at age 25, and you do this until you're 65, guess how much you'd have? With average stock market returns, you'd have about $350,000. But here's the crazy part. You only put in $48,000 of your own money over those 40 years. The other $302,000? That's what your money earned while you were sleeping, working, living your life. That's what compound growth means and looks like. Now watch what happens if you wait. Let's say you don't start until you're 35. Same $100 a month, same returns. Now you only have 30 years instead of 40. How much do you end up with? About $150,000. You lost $200,000 just by waiting 10 years. That's the cost of waiting. Time is literally money when it comes to investing. This is why your parents or grandparents probably told you to start saving early. They weren't just being annoying, they understood compound growth. Okay, so you might be thinking, this sounds great, Chris, but how do I actually start? What buttons do I push? Where does my money go? Great question. Let me walk you through it step by step, like I'm right there with you. Step 1. You need something called a brokerage account. That's just a fancy word for a place that holds your investments. Think of it like a special bank account, But instead of just holding dollars, it can hold pieces of companies. Some popular ones are Fidelity, Vanguard, and Robinhood. They're all good. They're all safe. Pick one and sign up. It takes like 10 minutes, and you just need your basic info like your social security number and bank account. Step 2. Now here's where people get overwhelmed. They think they need to pick individual companies. Should I buy Apple, Tesla, Target, Nike? No, that's too complicated when you're starting out. Instead, you want something called an index fund. An index fund is like buying a tiny piece of hundreds of companies all at once. It's a pre-made mix. Instead of buying one apple, you're buying the whole fruit basket. Or think about a potluck. Everyone brings food, and if some of it sucks, that's okay. There are so many options on the table, there are bound to be some good options that still make the event a success. The most popular one is called the S&P 500. That's a fund that owns pieces of the 500 biggest companies in America. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Walmart, Coca-Cola, all of them. When you buy one share of an S&P 500 fund, you own a microscopic piece of all 500 companies. This is smart because if one company does badly, it doesn't wreck your whole investment. You've got 499 others. It's like not putting all your eggs in one basket. Step 3. Here's the most important part. Once you start investing, you need to do something that feels wrong but is actually right. You need to stop checking it constantly. The stock market goes up and down every single day. That's normal. That's healthy. If you check your account every day and see it went down $20, you're going to freak out and want to sell everything. That's exactly what you should not do. Remember the seed we talked about? You don't dig it up every day, you let it grow. Same thing here. Set up automatic transfers. Every month, 50 bucks, 100 bucks, whatever you can afford, gets automatically moved from your bank to your investment account and buys more of that index fund. You don't think about it, it just happens. Then you go live your life. Check it once a year if you want, but mostly just let time do its thing. Here's the part nobody prepares you for. Money doesn't just change numbers in your bank account, it changes how you feel every single day. When you have no savings, your brain lives in constant panic mode. Every bill that shows up feels personal, like life is attacking you specifically. A surprise medical bill? Devastating. Need new tires? Panic. Someone's birthday coming up? Stress. But when you have some savings, even just $1,000, your whole brain chemistry changes. You make slower, better decisions. You don't react as much. You can actually think clearly. It's like the difference between being really, really hungry and just a little hungry. When you're starving, you'll eat anything. You make bad choices. But when you're just a little hungry, you can take your time and choose what actually sounds good. Money works the same way. This is why money habits matter more than money amounts. Let me paint you some pictures of what different financial stages actually look like in real life. Meet Sarah. She's 23. She's got $400 in savings. Not much, right? But here's what that $400 does for her. Last month, her laptop charger broke. Old Sarah? She would have freaked out, put it on a credit card, stressed about it for days. New Sarah? She bought a new charger for $30. It stung a little, but it didn't destroy her month. She's still got $370 saved. That's what $400 does. It stops life from constantly knocking you down. The goal here isn't investing yet. The goal is just building a buffer. Getting to $500, then $1,000. Just stability. Next, meet Marcus. He's 28, he's got $5,000 saved, and he's been adding $200 a month to an index fund for the past year. His car needs new brakes. $800. Old Marcus? This would have been a crisis, but now? He's annoyed, not panicked. He pays for the brakes. His emergency fund is now $4,200, but it's fine. He's got breathing room. He'll build it back up over the next few months. This is where confidence starts. This is where your whole mindset starts to shift. You're not rich, but you're definitely not drowning either. Now meet Jenny. She's 32. She's got $10,000 in emergency savings and $5,000 in investments that have been growing for 3 years. She hates her job. Like, really hates it. But here's the thing, she can actually quit. She's got options. She can take 2 months to find something better. She can even take a slightly lower paying job if it means better hours or less stress. Money doesn't make you happy by itself, but it gives you choices. And choices change everything. You can move cities, switch careers, take a calculated risk, try something new. That's what money does when you've got some saved up. It stops being a threat and starts being a tool. I want to briefly talk about something called lifestyle creep. This is why a lot of people who make good money still feel broke. Lifestyle creep is when your spending rises every time your income rises. You get a new job that pays $5,000 more per year. Sweet! But then you buy a newer car. Now you've got a car payment. You move to a slightly nicer apartment. Rent goes up $200 a month. You get a few new subscriptions. You start eating out more because you can afford it now. A year later, you're making way more money than you used to, but somehow you still feel broke. Your bucket got bigger, but your leaks got bigger too. You're running in place. Here's the secret that wealthy people know. The goal isn't to live like a monk and never spend money. The goal is to spend on purpose. Value beats price every single time. A cheap thing you don't care about is expensive. An expensive thing you truly value can be worth every penny. Wealthy people aren't cheap. They're selective. They'll drive a 10-year-old car with no car payment, but they'll spend $2,000 on a really comfortable mattress because they sleep 8 hours every night. They'll skip the fancy coffee every day, but they'll pay for a gym membership they actually use because health matters. They're not saying no to everything. They're saying a powerful yes to the things that actually improve their lives, and an easy no to everything else. That way of thinking matters. Let me give you a simple framework you can actually remember and use. 4 steps. That's it. The first step is stabilizing. Build a small emergency fund. Even $500 helps. This stops panic. This is your shock absorber. Life will test you, and this is what keeps you from falling apart when it does. Step 2 is to save consistently. Small, boring, automatic. Set up a transfer that happens every single month without you thinking about it. This builds trust with yourself. You're proving that you're someone who saves. That identity shift is huge. Step 3 is to invest for the long term. Simple, diversified, patient. Open that brokerage account. Buy that index fund. Set it to automatic. Then go live your life and let time work its magic. This builds momentum. This is where your money starts making money. Step 4 is to reduce debt and avoid stupid risks. Don't go backwards. Every dollar you save doesn't mean anything if you're racking up credit card debt at 24% interest. Keep your progress from leaking away. You don't need to do all 4 perfectly at the same time. You just need to move forward. Progress, not perfection. Let me ask you to imagine something for a second. Close your eyes if you're not driving. Imagine waking up and not immediately checking your bank account to make sure you're okay. Imagine getting a surprise bill in the mail and feeling annoyed instead of terrified. Imagine making career decisions based on what sounds interesting and what will help you grow, not based on fear and desperation. Imagine having the option to help a friend who's struggling, or take a weekend trip without stressing, or say no to extra hours at work because you don't need the money that badly. That's what money does when it's working for you. It doesn't buy happiness, that's not what this is about, but it buys space, time, options. And options change absolutely everything about how you experience life. You don't have to love money, you don't have to obsess over it, you just need to respect it. Okay, we've covered a lot. Let's bring it all home. Money is a tool, not a scorecard. It doesn't judge you, it just responds to what you do with it. Stability comes before growth. You can't build a house without a foundation. Get stable first, then grow. Small, consistent actions beat big, emotional ones every single time. $25 a week for years beats $1,000 once and then nothing. Time is the real multiplier. The earlier you start, the more time works in your favor. Compound growth is real and it's powerful. Identity shapes behavior. When you see yourself as someone who saves, someone who invests, someone who's building something, you make different choices. And freedom is built quietly, not in one big dramatic moment, but in 1,000 small decisions that compound over time. Here's what you can do today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Open a savings account if you don't have one. Go to your bank's website, it takes 10 minutes. Put in $25 or $50, just start the account. That's it, you've begun. List your monthly expenses and find one quiet leak. Maybe it's a subscription you don't use. Maybe it's stopping for coffee every single day. Find one leak and plug it. Set up an automatic transfer, even if it's $10 a week. Make saving happen without you having to remember. Automation is your best friend here. Write down where you are right now, not to judge yourself, just to see. How much do you have saved? How much do you make? How much do you spend? You can't improve what you don't measure. And here's the thing, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start. If this video helped you understand money in a clearer way, let me know in the comments where you are in your journey. Are you starting from zero? building momentum, restarting after a setback. I read every single comment, and your story might help someone else. If you want more simple, honest breakdowns like this, hit the like button. It tells the algorithm that this kind of content matters and it helps more people find these videos. And if you know someone who feels completely lost with money, maybe a friend, a younger sibling, someone who's starting over, send this to them. Sometimes all it takes is hearing it explained in a way that finally makes sense. You've got this. Seriously, you're not behind, you're not failing. You're just learning a skill that nobody taught you, and now you know. If you like this video, consider subscribing. And don't forget to check out my next video on the screen that's packed with great information to help take you to the next level.